Israel-Iran war cause that many don't know. Beg you, don't be disappointed with what I want to give you, because it's my little contribution that might help you to overcome the war that you are fighting individually as a person and collectively as a member of a fighting body. Did you know that all the troubleshootings by war has just one source, and one treatment can stop every trouble and every war in your life? My brothers and sisters, the taproot to our life displeasures that eventually leads to worries, struggles and tuggings, killings or warrings, is all about the fact that God, who made man and everything around him, has established motive for his life even before his creation. But man that was created is known for the art of, whenever his mental consciousness is gained about life, he will formulate his own aspirations not only for his life alone, but others' life inclusive, with little or no regard for his maker's established norms for that life that he created, which causes life chaos. The life of man is full of all evils imaginable, ranging from sickness to insecurity, starvation to wanton destruction, rejections to dejection, but just to mention a few. All these are as a result of human beings' life that was made by two contrasting forces to devoid a clear direction, because as God directs our life towards his established path that was purposely created to suit us for a worthy living in life, so man issues a contra directive to counter the decision of God to the confusion of ways to live for a fulfilled life, probably on the premise of past experience or intently to justify a thought motive, the result of which might lead to disorder, disaffection, commotion, disrespect, and so on, that human beings' reasoning cannot predict beforehand. But not so many people take this to heart, to consider how miserable our helpless life is struggling with odds to survive, and how to help it out of the jam that it was buried, by consulting probably the oracles possible for the possible way out. If I'm asked, the only true oracle I've come across and I can certify is the Bible. Please, don't wave my saying aside until you've seen the end and even consider it. After all, I know you might not be a fan of Bible, but this is your well-being that we want to discuss. So, let's move on. Firstly, in Genesis chapter 3, it was enumerated how man's disobedience cost his life the first loss of basic comforts. And the book of Leviticus chapter 23 verses 1 to 42, the account of what is likely to happen in the case of compliance or otherwise to God's intention were clearly stated. And all of it fitted to what is happening to our life today if critically looked into. Is it the war in every facet of life? War at home, war at work, war in the community, war in the state, or wars among nations, which threaten our security, our starvation of diverse colors, like food shortage, betrayals of love, breach of trust, deprivation to right, to mention just a few, not to talk about the countless diseases and ailments falling out of epidemic and pandemic. Worthy of note about the problem of our life is, as we tackle and believe that we are making a headway out of one of them, several other ugly ones would have surfaced and waiting to be named, to the extent that I personally cannot discern which population is greater between human beings' problem and human beings himself. As some ascribe our problem to voodoo, some say it's satanic, others believe it's scientific, yet philosophy still merry-go-round with every life battered in the mess inherited and those created by oneself with the support of one's neighborhood. Once again, by my own knowledge, when an act is committed, the next step is to identify the perpetrator and the cause for such an action, then moves on how to safeguard the future. So at this juncture, the solution to the case of messes in our life is not far-fetched both individually and collectively, if not for according to the Bible prophecy again, which talk about our stiff neck when he was talking even to his so-called peculiar nation, the Israelites. If only you can reference your Creator and schedule a routine for your Bible to seek the heart of God from it and live according to the Bible guidance, you will soon see if either you've been in the light or darkness before now, as it will expose you to the way as well as the bush for you to choose a choice. By my understanding once again, if you can try to defy all odds and choose God's way, even though you might be looking at yourself as an insignificant minority, you may be proved wrong when you start seeing people following your footsteps. Then as virus goes viral, so also your decision will go viral to influence the whole world for the betterment of every life, as our life will now be governed by one Lord and one destiny, that is, God and God's creed only. After all, it is likewise in the prophecy as highlighted in one of my videos on the YouTube that the time like this will come, so you can make it start from you. Finally, friends, don't be confused about the biblical passage referring to the Israelites, as maybe the prophecies are not talking to you. After all, we all need salvation, and Jesus Christ in his ministry confesses that salvation is of the Jews. John chapter 4 verse 22. And as we all know, Jews belong to Israel. In other words, it is good for us to tap from this salvation by believing and obey the Bible to end a probable cause of wars in our life. Thank you for your valuable time. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Shalom.